Guys, I think I broke the eBay algorithm. Hey guys, welcome back into the channel. If you are new here, my name is Andrew, and this channel is all about reselling. So along with my wife, Jessica, we run a full-time online reselling business named 5 Little Ducks Resale. So that's where we go to garage sales, thrift stores, and estate sales. We find items for cheap, and then we flip those items online for a profit on sites like Mercari, Poshmark, and eBay. Now, if you sell on eBay, you've probably been told 100 times that if you want to sell more, you need to list more. And that's exactly what we've been doing all this week with those auto parts that I showed you from the last video. I've been listing hundreds of dollars worth of auto parts a day, and then suddenly something happened. Now, I want to show you this chart. This is the chart of our sales over the last 31 days. And while I'd love to sit here and talk about this day, which was a great sales day, but it's obviously an anomaly, as you can see, I want to direct your attention to these 2 days here and here. So what's happened? There's absolutely no sales here. And this is on the tail end of me listing thousands of dollars worth of auto parts. So what's going on? Now, do I think that I broke the eBay algorithm? No, of course not. I don't know any more about the eBay algorithm than the next guy, but I do know that this is an interesting thing to happen. Now, it's not uncommon for us in a 31-day period to have at least one day, spaced out, of course, that has no sales, but 2 days in a row is pretty suspect. Now, more than likely what's going on is that it's now summertime, people are out and about, and they're just not spending a whole lot of time on eBay. In other words, it's that dreaded summer slowdown. Now, to combat that, we're not going to stop listing at all. We are going to push forward full force. We have a garage full of auto parts that I need to list, and in addition to that, we got a chance to go out and do some awesome sourcing today, so let's take a look at what we picked up. Hey, what's going on, everyone? As you can see, our table is not empty today. So this is not a joke. We picked up some really good stuff at some garage sales today. So I have the top of the table here. At the bottom of the table, I have some stuff that I'll show you here in a bit. So we paid $90.50 for everything. So let's go through it and see if I did a good job. So we got a lot of good stuff. We'll start over here. I picked up this bag of mini Transformer figures. These are from Jada Toys, and the reason why I recognize them right off the bat was because in a lot of Legos that I picked up, there were some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones of these that I saw that I ended up selling as a group by themselves, and they don't do, I think they're pretty modern. These are 2023. But I knew them right off the bat because I had sold, or I had listed, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones. Didn't know that they had Transformers, which I thought were kind of cool. So there's, of course, Optimus and some other characters in there. I'm thinking that they're all Transformers now that I'm looking at them. That does not appear to be, but I don't know all the new Transformers and whatnot. So regardless, I paid $1 for all of those in there. I bundled that with something else that's underneath the table, which I'll show here in a little bit. Now, today was also the local high school's band fundraising garage sale, which is always a good sale. We always go to it because there's always good stuff to pick up. So case in point, this next sale we paid $17 for everything I'm going to show you, and that consisted of this bag of Sonic figures. There is quite a few in there, as you can see. I won't take them all out. The Pokemon plush here. This cool Loungefly Pikachu wallet, still with tags. And let's see here, this Pokemon canister, which contains a ton of mini Pokemon figs. Now, as I was looking up some of these figures, I know that the original sort of series, the Gen 1, Gen 2 from Tommy, those seem to do pretty well. I don't think that's what these are. These are more modern figures, I think, and I don't know if the camera can actually zoom in on it, but they are all marked with PK China. And if you do a search on eBay for Pokemon mini PK China figures, there are people that are selling them in lots, so don't know if I have any rare ones in there that would drive up the cost, but thought that was kind of cool anyway. So $17 for the Pokemon the Pikachu wallet, the plush, and those Sonic figs. At that same sale, we actually made a bundle deal for all of these figures in a bag and the Sky plush over here. So we ended up paying $11 for that. And that consists of these Mario figures, which I didn't realize them at the time, but these are actually for a chess set. So you can see here, this one's labeled King, and there's some other ones, obviously Pawn and Bishop in there. I don't think all of the pieces are there, but obviously we'll probably either sell them all together as a set or maybe just have them being sold individually for replacement pieces. Haven't thought that far ahead, but not to worry. Also picked up all of these Ryan's World figures. Now, I am not a Ryan's World expert by any means, but for a bundle deal, we paid, like I said, $11 for all these. I figured couldn't go wrong. And inside that deal was also these Muppet Babies. I think these are more modern, of course, but they're all marked Disney, so hey, it was worth a shot. So $11 for all that. Another sale, we picked up this Lightning McQueen plush for $1, and that band sale, we also picked up another plush here, Bubble Guppies, just for $1. Nothing out of the atmosphere here or too cool yet. And an estate sale we went to today. Found this cool King Bee hat. I thought that was rather neat. Vintage. It has the scrambled eggs on the bill. Of course, it has the rope there and had a neat design. I thought I'd give that a shot. So the estate sale we paid, let's see, $12 for everything, which consisted of this hat, this box set of Mysteries of the Unknown Time Life books. And as you can see here on my shelf, I do have a couple of other ones already listed. So whenever I find these, if they're cheap enough, I'll pick them up. Eventually, maybe I'll get enough where I can lock them all up together, because those bigger lots tend to do well. At that same estate sale, found this pen. It's not a Parker pen, though, interestingly enough. And I'll try to open it up here with one hand. It is a pen for sure, but it is a Cross pen. So Cross pens are actually pretty good to find if you can get them cheap enough. It was half off day, so I didn't pay the $3 that was marked. In fact, $12 for everything at the estate sale. So the books, the hat, the pen, and this cool bejeweled little frog figure character thing. It's pretty heavy, pretty weighty. It is metal. All of the little rhinestone designs seem to be present. And what's cool, and if I can do it, it does open up, and it's a little trinket box. So we can, put your trinkets in there. So kind of neat. So $12 for all that stuff. At a completely different sale, I paid $6 for this bundle of Ryan's World stuff. Figured I was on a Ryan's World kick, so hopefully that'll treat me well. Haven't gone through this. I just know it's a bunch of miscellaneous characters, nothing major. At another sale, found some Loud Family plush. And I did a quick comp search when I got back in the car, and I think it was the same size. Of course, I paid $1/4 a piece for these, and I saw a sold comp on this for like $13 plus ship, so definitely not bad there. Another sale, picked up these. It was a set of 4. These are Anchor Hocking. I believe they're called Kimberly glasses, so you can see the Anchor Hocking symbol there, and it's that kind of diamond pattern that gave it away. And I've sold a couple of these before, and they were actually green and white, and I'll put up a picture of what those look like, but it's that definite diamond pattern that gave it away. I actually passed by the mug box once. I was looking in there and I just kind of glazed over these. Came back on my way out and saw that and said, hey, I think that looks familiar. Checked it out, definitely knew it was Anchor Hocking, and so I picked them up. They actually were selling mugs for 50 cents each, but they gave them to me for $1. So if you look up sold comps on these, this amber variety, I think, has a sold of somewhere close to 50 or 40 for a set of 4 or 5. So wasn't a bad pickup at all. At another sale, got this Pioneer Woman butter dish for $1. It's nothing major, but maybe $10 plus shipping on that once it sells. And then the last thing on the table here is, let's see here, these vintage Teletubby puzzles. So they're the big, thick wooden ones. I think there's 3 Teletubbies and 1 Sesame Street, maybe. Uh-oh, things are falling. Yes, Sesame Street. So there's Cookie Monster there, enjoying some lemonade and some cookies. So $1 each for the puzzles. Well, that's what they were marked. And then the Calico Critters. These are all new in package. Some of them have some damaged boxes, but they're still new, sealed. So all together, all of the Calico Critters and then the puzzles did a bundle for $20 total. And I know that there's a market for the Calico Critters, and I did look these up since I just scanned the code on the bottom, and they all definitely have sold comps. So we should definitely make our money back on those for sure. So again, that was just the top of the table. We went to a lot of sales today. We did pick up a lot of good stuff. Did a lot of bundle deals, which is always fun. So let's kind of dive down underneath the table and see if we can do this. Now, what pickup would not be complete without Legos, more Legos. So this was actually the same sale that I picked up those little mini Transformer figures at. And there was a lot of people at that sale, and everyone was just walking past this because all of the bags looked just like this, and it was sitting off to the side. And I was kind of doing my rounds, and I had glanced at it once and it didn't register, and I came back again and I saw one of these pieces poking out, probably something like that, just sitting on top. So I kind of crouched down, took a better look, and sure enough, these are all Legos. And this box probably weighs at least 10 pounds, if not more. And so I asked him what he wanted. He only said $10. Didn't even want to haggle with him at the time because assuming this is 10 pounds, $1 per pound for bulk Legos is not a bad price for sure. So I did a small peek. I haven't opened these up in any way, but I did a small peek inside, and there's for sure going to be some imposter Legos that I'll have to call out of there, but I think that that's going to be a good score. So $11 for the sale, $10 just for these. So of course that's a bulk purchase, so that'll go into a different purchasing category. So this next one is pretty cool too, and I don't have a power cord for it. I'm going to get on the floor so I can actually show you what this is, but this is a music box. Now it does take a power cord. So here is the cord there, and it takes these cool album-like records. Obviously they have the little grooves cut out of them, and the little notches right there that will make the music blocks play that particular song. So that's the Entertainer, I think. So that's a nice Scott Joplin ragtime piece. And what is this one? We Wish You a Merry Christmas. What is this one? Silent Night. So yes, this is a Christmas themed music box, and there are some animatronics at the bottom, so there looks like some people dancing. So this one was only $5, and I looked at the bottom of it, and it is a Mr. Christmas. And I know that's a really good brand to keep an eye out for. Don't know if this works, but the nice thing is that it does have all of the records that came with it. So this one is supposed to go in this slot here, and of course there's other songs. Again, I don't know if it works. I'm gonna have to find a power cord for it. Looks like it takes a DC 6 volt, but of course it has to be the right size. Didn't find an exact comp, but similar ones I saw that were being listed in the hundreds of dollars. Some sold for $50. I don't know. Like this one is kind of one of those mystery ones. It's really dirty. I definitely have to clean it up and test it out. So I'm hoping that this works. So $5 pickup. That was at the band garage sale. That was a great find. And then last but not least, a huge, heavy bin. Now you can't really get a good feel for how big the bin is. It's not one of those huge bins. It's one of the kind of, I don't know, it's maybe, 18 inches wide or so. It's not Easter stuff, although there could be Easter stuff in it. But let me just kind of show you here. Let's open it up. look at all of these. These are all brand new stickers. So if you saw the pickup that I did a few weekends back, I did buy some stickers, and then if you saw the recent What Sold video, did sell one package of stickers. They're not huge money makers again, but it's that same sort of stickety-doo-dah brand, and there's other ones in here. And I was looking through them just to kind of see what was in here, and the lady was like, hey, they're 10 cents a piece, you know, you can just mix and match or whatever. And I was looking at them and saw that there were quantities of the same ones. And so, you know, how easy of a listing is that, where you just take a picture and just slap a quantity 10 or whatever on it. And so I said, hey, how much for the entire bin? And this bin is super heavy. She's like, $5. I'm like, sold. So, not bad. So that'll, you know, these are really fun to list because they're easy. You can snap a picture of the front, snap a picture of the back, maybe a few close-ups, and then figure out how many of the quantity that you have, and you're good to go. So an entire bin. Now, it might take until I'm 125 for these to all sell, but you never know. For a $5 buy cost, I didn't want to pass that up for sure. Did see some character ones in here, like Care Bears, and there's some strawberry shortcake. So you never know. And they actually had them broken down by holiday. So there's some Thanksgiving, Halloween, there's general. I even saw some scratch and sniff in here as well. So vintage scratch and sniff stickers, if you can find them, can be an absolute treasure. So that's the find. All that stuff on the bottom here, the bulk Legos, the Mr. Christmas, the stickers, and then back up top here, everything on the table. So again, $90.50 buy cost. Drop a comment below. Let me know if you think that we did great today. Let me know if you think we did poorly today. What was your favorite find? Let me know in the comments below, and hopefully we will see these sell in some of the upcoming sold videos. Thank you for watching. All right, so now let's go ahead and transition over to the sales portion of the video. So like always, we will start with our eBay store and we'll go from here. So the sales dates in question are from May 26 to June 1. And we will start off with this. This was a lot of 3 Star Wars micro comics, 3D posters, 3D glasses, and a single comic card. Together, these all sold for $8.99 plus shipping. Next up, we had this vintage Lee jeans, green and pink nylon zippered gym duffel bag. This sold for $24.99 plus shipping. Following that, we had this U.S. Air Force 442nd Tactical Fighter Air Wing Reserve embroidered patch. This sold for $2.99 plus shipping. This next item was actually sold 3 different times, but returned twice, so I'm glad that it hasn't come back yet. This was a Harley Davidson women's XL black short sleeve shirt, and it sold for $19.99 plus shipping. Next up was this new sealed Sopranos adult trivia board game, and this sold for $9.99 plus shipping. I knew that this next item was going to be a great sale, and it was just a matter of time before it sold. This was that set of 5 vintage Terror Academy young adult horror paperback novels by Nicholas Pine. And together these sold for $69.99 plus shipping. Next up was this 2017 Thomas & Friends Minis DC Super Friends 9-pack. These were mini trains dressed up as superheroes, and together they sold for $14.99 plus shipping. The next item was one of our Vera Bradley bags. This one was the iconic Glenna tote in the water bouquet pattern. This sold for $28.99 plus shipping. Next up, we had a plushie sale. This was the Ugly Dolls Moxie. She was an 8-inch pink terry cloth plush, and she sold for $8.99 plus shipping. And this next item was another small figurine that went for some really good money. This was a vintage 1985 Chuck E. Cheese Showbiz Pizza Time 2.5-inch PVC figure, and he sold for $9.99 plus shipping. Next up was this New With Tags V-Twins Pinup Girls Motor Engine Flaming Cherry Adjustable Baseball Hat. This sold for $6.99 plus shipping. Next up was a set of 3 United States Army E8 First Sergeant insignia pins. These were in the black subdued finish, and these sold for $11.97 plus shipping. Next up was another patch. This was a vintage Boy Scouts Webelos embroidered compass badge. This one did not have any pins attached to it, and it sold for $2.99 plus shipping. The next item was also another patch. This was a vintage Boy Scouts Atlanta Area Council patch from 1993, and this ended up selling on a best offer for $1.83 plus shipping. The next item was a pair of Nike shoes. These were Nike VaporMax men's size 13, fuchsia and lime gray running shoes, and they sold for $59.99 plus shipping. And the last eBay sale from this time frame was this vintage Wilson's Adventure Bound Men's XL water-resistant leather bomber jacket, and it sold for $49.99 plus shipping. So let's go ahead and transition over to our Mercari store. Now Mercari has been doing so-so as of late. Not as good as eBay, but not as bad as Poshmark either. So again, a good solid middle. So let's start off with this. This is a vintage 1951 Rogers Brothers Inspiration Magnolia pattern, 8 5/8 inch solid pierced pie server. This sold for $7.50 plus shipping. Next up was this vintage VHS movie. This was that Garbage Pail Kids movie. Vintage 1987 live action with the cardboard slipcover. This ended up selling for $65 plus shipping. Next up was another U.S. Army pin. This was the U.S. Army E4 Specialist rank pin, which again was in that subdued black finish. And this sold for $4 plus shipping. Next up was this vintage Teletubbies Mega Blocks Bye Bye Build and Tote. It was a plush beanbag with Mega Blocks inside, and it sold for $15 plus shipping. Following that, we had this new with tags Rock and Roll Cowboy men's size 40 by 32 pistol straight leg dark vintage jeans, and these sold for $40 plus shipping. Next up was this 1995 Ty Beanie Babies Derby the brown horse, and he sold for $5 plus shipping. And the last two sales from Mercari were actually Stampin' Up sets. The first of which was this vintage set of 3 Tiny Teapots wood-mounted rubber stamp set, which sold for $5 plus shipping, and the set called Ribbons and Roses, again a wood-mounted rubber stamp set, which sold for $4.50 plus shipping. So last but not least, we'll go over our Poshmark sales from this time period, or should I say sale. Yes, it was only one. This was the Harry Potter Slytherin Build-A-Bear Snake. It was a stuffed animal and scarf gift set, but it did sell for $28 plus shipping. Well, now that it's the end of the video, I'm going to go and list some more stuff because I really want to do something about those 2 days worth of no sales. Now, if you enjoyed this sort of reselling content, go ahead and click the like button below and even consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help us out. So thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you next time.